Some changes. 2 starters down now. Big closing run for New York. That was the difference. And we are in the dark uniforms trimmed in gold. And for the second straight game, Niara Sabally gets the start for Jonquel Jones. Had a great game in their last win against Chicago, and it didn't take Ionescu long.
And you see right away with the on-ball screening action, Aaliyah Boston ends up with the switch on Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina does a nice job with her footwork to shed, get enough space to finish.
Making sense and staying up with those switches will be a challenge for Indiana. Here's Clark, guarded by Sabally. It didn't take her long to throw one up.
Another team, the New York Liberty, who will switch 1 through 5. That's how Sabally ended up on Caitlin that possession.
Stewart left open. She has really struggled from 3. It almost doesn't look possible that she's shooting 15% from distance this year, by far her worst.
Matchup to keep an eye on this end of the floor. Breanna Stewart is the primary defender on Kelsey Mitchell. Much different size and quickness in that matchup.
Huge difference. Stewie listed at 6'4", Kelsey Mitchell at 5'8".
But that shows you how Sandy Brondello feels about Breanna Stewart as a defender. At 6'4", can use her length.
That time Mitchell was able to shoot over her. Good job by Kennedy Burke, who is in the starting lineup today for Phoebish. And Natasha Cloud, her first year running the point for New York.
It's the first time Kennedy Burke has missed a 3 in the last 3 games. She had made 7 in a row over her last 2.
Nicely done to get it inside to Mitchell.
Those two have such a great connection, especially when Kelsey Mitchell is in a corner and can make that baseline cut.
Burke gets in, and now a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Caitlin Clark, eyes always up. You see her there, tongue wagging. What a great look to see how she threads the needle to Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell's so dangerous because she can drain that three-point shot, but you turn your head, forget about it.
Burke has the free throw rim out. New York up 4-2. Ready to go 10-0 for the first time in their history. Clark able to take Burke off the bounce.
That's going to be a balance for Caitlin Clark. She told us in the first matchup when she got the switches, sometimes she settled for the 3 a little bit too much. That time, she navigated and instead went off dribble.
She took 11 threes in that game, only hit 2 of them, and here she is trying to guard Stewie. Burke outside. She has now missed 2. Sabally doing work inside.
That's what Niara Sabally can bring. The New York Liberty are not a great rebounding team this season.
Clark got it inside to Boston, who missed. And the Liberty averaging only about 1 rebound more a game than their opponents. Miss for Ionescu, and here comes Clark. This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Found Boston perfectly.
The placement on that pass, Pam Ward, was incredible by Caitlin Clark.
Nice finish for Sabally, but you're right, it looks like she has no room to get a pass in, and not only does she get it in, it's perfect, and there's a bounce pass. Mitchell left open. It ping-pongs out to Stewart.
Quite the pace here to start this game. Players trying to catch their breath as Sabrina Ionescu hits a dagger.
Ionescu averaging just under 3 threes per game. This is a team that leads the WNBA in many offensive categories. Let's go back to Caitlin's pass.
I mean, this is incredible. I mean, as Boston is running the floor, multiple defenders, there's 3 defenders, but especially Sabrina Ionescu, at the last minute puts her hand up. It is still placed perfectly. Quarterback, wide receiver, look at that. And then Boston's focus to corral the ball and finish.
She's making that pass from the back court. Sabally off to a really good start. Making just her second career start. She did not play at all.
Perspective in a way that she hadn't seen before. She said when you're playing, you're thinking about so many things, whether to pass, to shoot, to drive. You're trying to make decisions. While she was out, she said the game slowed down a little bit. She's hoping that perspective is something she carries throughout her career. She did say she might be rusty today. I don't know. She was making half-court shots yesterday at practice, so she looks pretty good to me.
And certainly the Indiana Fever very intentional with her minutes and how they're playing her today. You see her typically would not be out at this early stage of the game, but making sure they're giving her a little bit of rest along the way.
And Sophie Cunningham is back today. She has been in and out of the lineup with a hurt ankle. That's 2 straight turnovers out of the timeout. Stewie rolls in a toughie. That's an 11-0 New York run. Sydney Colson also into the game in the backcourt. Mitchell with a determined drive and some drought.
New York Liberty's defense has really been on point the last couple of possessions prior to that one. They're congesting inside, making Indiana take tougher looks when they get the ball in the paint.
No Clark on the floor. Colson inside.
There goes the double. You see it from Sabrina Ionescu.
Forces another turnover. And really struggling to hold on to the basketball. That's Boston's first foul.
Saw 4 help defenders in the paint once Aaliyah Boston got it inside. And then when she did, watch Sabrina Ionescu's head. Turns, dribble comes, hard double team. Results in not only the turnover, but the foul as well. The New York Liberty have really been on point thus far this season in terms of their defensive energy. I mean, a big part of that is that young woman bringing the ball up the floor. Natasha Cloud is elite on the defensive end.
This is what Cunningham does. Sophie giving them a punch off the bench. Head coach Stephanie White mentioned what a force she has been for this team. A team that had to cut Ari McDonald, who was absolutely brilliant coming in on a hardship contract, but they had to release her once they got back to their 10-player roster, pardon me. I don't think Ari McDonald's going to be out of a job for long.
No.
It's a Colson foul.
Point is way up.
Caitlin Clark will check in at the next whistle. Johannes, a little step back. Just with the miss. New York just 1 of 6 from 3. But still leading it by 9, and Clark comes back in.
Brandon Stewart, her ability to finish when she catches in the paint is at an all-time level this year. Not only Cunningham right there, Aaliyah Boston comes over as well. I mean, throughout her career, we've talked about Brandon Stewart and the wingspan and her elevation on her finish.
And then she gets the block as Mitchell tried to take it. Ionescu looking for her. Colson able to get her hands on it and mess up the fast break.
Brandon Stewart again, an elite shot blocker, always has been, and here just stays vertical, fingertip, able to get her hands on it, and then sprinting the other way. She's finally at the place where her wind has completely returned and her fitness after missing some time with the knee surgery in the offseason.
This is the first week of camp. Harrison got Cunningham to bite on the fake and then had it roll away. Caitlin Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass and has a chance for a three-point play.
Caitlin Clark bringing the ball down, looking inside. Aaliyah Boston not open. Look at that crossover, then the spin. Tough finish on a really good defender. Rebecca Gardner is long, can move her feet. A push off as well, and then finishing the tough one, an opportunity for a third.
Caitlin cuts the lead to 6 after another spectacular move. Gardner in her first year at New York. There she is. Inside to Stewie. They're going to say that she was held by...
Son would know what locker code meant.
I have no idea. But Brianna Stewart or Caitlin Clark, what if you want both? Colson on the go. Sydney Colson in her 11th year out of Texas A&M has never been a big-time scorer, but is a great locker room presence.
I mean, for New York to be playing the way they are with two huge pieces out of this game right now with Jonquel and Leonie Fiedish. Sometimes it's easy to forget because their bench is so deep.
And they are unbeaten. Shot clock is winding down. Johannes with the top take, and it went in.
She shot that from like her waist and had just the perfect English on it to get it to drop.
Or French, maybe? She did not score in the regular season against Indiana, played over 15 minutes, but let's go back to that shot.
Great Johannes often makes difficult things look simple, and then just here, the spin that you see on the end of it, just absolutely perfect to get it to drop. Just such a nice, fun flair to her game.
Did not play in the league last year, stayed with the French national team in preparation for the Paris Olympics, where France gave the U.S. an incredible last game. France had to go home with silver. Stewart able to bring the basketball up. Here's Dantes trying to guard Stewart now, but still able to get a decent shot off. And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from three. Cunningham just now getting up as she stayed down near the free throw line on the other end. Just coming back from an ankle injury, and then Johannes very coolly.
Two players with incredible
Well, back and forth we go. Clark with the three, Johannes answered, then Caitlin again. She's calling for the ball from Cunningham. Clark, another long three. She's back. The most dynamic player in the game. 9 points in 38 seconds for Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes.
And not only 9 and 30, but look at the depth on these field goal attempts. She's certainly feeling it. Left side, right side. Now come back to your favorite spot again. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in her face contesting. Look at that reaction. She can just do things that no one else in the women's game can.
3 of 4 from 3. She's already got 14 points. Again, wide right, and everybody's shocked that it didn't go in. Stewie able to run the floor, and a good find to quiet the crowd at least a little bit. Cunningham stripped. Or pardon me, Lexi Hall, as she tried to get into the paint. And now the shot clock's off, and Sandy Brondello wants one shot. Sabally, no call on the follow, but along with Rebecca Lobo, and we're pleased to be joined now by Sandy Brondello. Take a breath after that first quarter. What would you like to see your team maybe do differently in this second quarter?
Yeah, look, I think we're giving Caitlin too much space there. She's a great player. She can shoot from all over the court. We just got to match her up a little bit earlier. But otherwise, you know, if we can keep him in the half court, that's pretty good for us.
And shooting 50% on the offensive end, what did you like that you saw offensively?
Yeah, look, we're moving the ball when we need to. We're trying to get certain people in the actions. You know, our turnovers, I think we can tidy that up a little bit. But, you know, so far, so good.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Sandy Brondello, who took her team to the WNBA Championship last year, the first title for this New York franchise. And yes, this is the best start in franchise history. They're trying to get to a 10-game winning streak, which would tie their best ever for this franchise. They've done it twice previously. Lexi Hull able to draw the offensive foul.
You saw how intentional the New York Liberty were, though, that possession, and getting eventually the switch of Hull onto Brianna Stewart. Yeah, Stewie's elbow just gets out and gets Hull in the face, but there was multiple screening actions that New York used until they finally got this switch, and yeah, that's an offensive foul when it's the elbow to the face of the defender.
Second foul on Stewie. Both of them have been offensive fouls. She takes a seat. Now Clark guarded by Kennedy Burke. Tasha Howard now in the game for Indiana. Colson fires. Howard right away hits the glass, but couldn't follow. Sabally has been really good. That one's a little bit too strong. Sabally with a strong first quarter. Making her second career start, second in a row, and Clark stays red hot. And for the first time today, Indiana has the lead. They were down by as many as 11, but Ionescu takes care of that quickly. Bounce pass, perfect to Howard, but back rimmed it. Dantes, yes.
But just great offense, because Caitlin Clark's been on a heater, and so you give her the ball, roll, and she delivers it perfectly. I think she just looked over at the bench asking for a sub.
And you can tell that she is not her usual self, huffing and puffing a little bit. That's one of the concerns, that she has the bounce pass kicked by Cloud.
So a mistake defensively by Kennedy Burke, leaving Caitlin Clark, and so Caitlin recognizes how open she is. Burke can't quite get there, drains the three. You know you need to give Caitlin Clark defensive attention, so what happens now? Two players go there and she hits the roller. Howard wasn't able to get her the assist, but pass was delivered perfectly.
Caitlin with 4 threes on 6 attempts, and Hall able to pick up the ball and finished on the second chance. Hull's first points. Go ahead, pardon me.
No, Hull just has a knack for going to the offensive glass, and that comes with effort. She's consistently crashing.
Numbers going up every year at a season high. 15 points against New York when they played back the 3rd week of May.
It is shocking to see Kennedy Burke miss 1 3 this season. She's leading the league at over 60%, but to see her miss a couple.
Count it! Mitchell celebrates from the floor.
She said that means, you know, getting angles, playing in transition as much as possible, and just being herself. And if she doesn't overthink the process, then she can be a really great player.
She's the reigning East Conference Player of the Week. Nice play as Cloud got it into Sabally.
Yeah, great probe by Cloud and then cut by Sabally.
Cloud making herself at home very quickly with this New York Liberty team, and they lost Sab. Ionescu finishing to get New York back to within 2 points. Sabrina now into double figures. She had 23 when these two teams first played. Rolling. The ball stays with Indiana as Clark comes back in. Colson gets a nice hand as she heads to the bench.
To go back to Christine's report on Kelsey Mitchell, Mitchell is a player who's so good when she's playing off of instinct, and also, as you see the take by Hull, her field goal percentage much better when in the games with Caitlin Clark versus those without, of course, because Caitlin's going to draw defensive attention. She's going to find you on drive and kick opportunities, and so Kelsey Mitchell went on that little burst there with Caitlin off the floor, but has to be happy about having Caitlin Clark's presence back out there with her.
Yeah, absolutely. The opportunity for more assists make everybody better. That foul was on Burke. Here's Hull at the line. Only 55% from the line this year. Upcoming WNBA national TV schedule tomorrow on CBS. Chicago's at Connecticut at noon Eastern. Amazon has 2 on Thursday starting at 7 Eastern. Phoenix at New York. Indiana at Golden State. That'll be fun. And Friday on Ion, Dallas, Connecticut, Seattle, Vegas. Go to WNBA.com. Visit the WNBA app. And games at the Chase Center in San Francisco are amazing. Great fans, they pack the house, and they're going to love when Caitlin and company come to town. Inside 6 minutes, that had to be a foul on Hull, and it was as Sui hit the deck. So Indiana leading New York by 3 as we take a timeout. Caitlin Ionescu off to great starts.
Is a foul. She didn't like it, but that's a foul.
They got her. And now a foul will send Breanna Stewart to the line, so knocks them both home. It's been getting there quite often this year and gets New York back to within 1. Stewie 0 for 2 from 3 so far in this game. Clark directing traffic. And then steps back with the 3 over Breanna Stewart. And she and Stewie have a nice exchange on the way back up the court.
They're just laughing at one another at the absurdity of what Caitlin's done so far here.
Cloud tries to answer. Ball goes out of bounds and belongs to Indiana.
Just the nerve, the second-year players clearing out that side of the floor, shooting on Stewie, and then watch the reaction with one another. Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous. Just out there having a good time with it all.
Because Stewie certainly can appreciate what Caitlin is doing. Now Caitlin going to drive around Stewart. Hull left open momentarily, and she nailed it. Stewart with the nice pass from Ionescu. Quickly answers. The pace of the game still rolling.
We showed the fit a little bit earlier, Pam Ward. The best fit of the day is about to pop up on your screen. That is Remy James Ruocco. Ryan Ruocco's son was born this morning. Congratulations to Ryan, his wife Andrea, big sister Evie. The ball being given to the New York Liberty.
And it's an unsuccessful challenge, and the technical free throw shot taken and made by Ionescu. So Sabally will inbound. Stewart matched up with Mitchell. Hand off to Ionescu, who drew a foul and draws the ire of the fans here. That's the second on Kelsey Mitchell.
And so now there's going to be frustration not only by the fans in attendance, but by the players as well, because at one end you had a player get fouled pretty aggressively, and then on the other there's minimal contact. By the way, I have to apologize to Remy James Ruocco that we showed his picture right when the entire arena was booing.
Yes, they were not booing Remy.
They're not booing you, big guy, and we're sorry about the timing of all of that.
So congrats to Ryan and family. What a game this is turning into. Getting a little choppy now, but it's close. Indiana up by 2. As we're gonna send you back to the studio.
Time presented by State Farm on the way. Monica McNutt, Andrea.
And now a whistle as Caitlin's shaken up a little bit.
Move over the screen and accidentally gets Caitlin hit in the face.
Yep, got her on the upswing.
There's no jealousy there, fans. Just a basketball. Just a basketball foul.
Mitchell with the shot clock going off. Now Ionescu brings the ball up for New York. Sabally passing for New York. They go around the horn, and Stewie finishes off glass.
That's a beautiful offensive possession by the New York Liberty, and it's one of the reasons they've had so much success this year is the way they move the ball and share it.
Clark trying to answer, and indeed she does.
What an incredible half so far from Caitlin Clark. She has more than half of her team's points.
Ionescu given a little bit of room. The ball bounces around, and Leah Boston able to grab it. Boston only has 2 points in this game, 1 of 5 from the floor. Oh, behind the back action. Oh, from the corner. Behind the back to Boston, but she gets the assist on the home make, and that ends a 7-0 New York run. Sabali driving on Clark, and then was able to gather the rebound and put it back in. Sabali now with 5 boards to go along with her 8 points. Make it 10.
We've seen Caitlin get tricky on the offensive end with the shots she's making, but how about the behind the pack delivery for the hockey assist? Great decision by Aaliyah Boston to find her shooter in the corner.
Yeah, Boston's a really good passer, makes good decisions out there. Stephanie White was talking about her high basketball IQ.
She's the second best passer on the Indiana Fever team.
Who's the first? This one?
Caitlin Clark!
Feeling the 3. She's got 6 of them. Howard gets it to Clark. Another perfect pass to Hall. But it wouldn't go in, and the ball goes over to the Liberty.
I mean, Caitlin, in the way she's been able to get her shot going from deep, deep range here today has been off the charts.
Stewart driving on Boston, and she draws another foul.
Just taking one more look at it. The depth on this shot. Sabrina Ionescu right there. Contest simply doesn't matter.
Stewart delivers from the line to cut the lead back to 4. Mitchell guarded by Stewie, and a whistle away from the action. And what a great start this is. How about?
It's got to be a significant number where 25 points in a game would be their career high. And that's her career high for half.
That's what she's sitting on right now. Had 18 points in total in the game against New York back in May, the game in which she hurt her quad. Missed the last 5 games. Her team went 2-3. Howard at the line. Howard coming back to Indiana, where her career started. 2014 when she was drafted out of Florida State. Shot clock winding down for Sabali, who challenges Clark. Caitlin playing with 2 fouls. Mitchell spots up. Izzy Harrison. Ball caroms to Ionescu. We hit a minute to go. Cloud shot has been off, but Harrison is able to sneak in to get the offensive rebound and put back.
Yeah, the New York Liberty have done a really nice job getting in and attacking the offensive glass, keeping balls alive to get extra opportunities.
10 second chance points now for New York. Clark, a little bit too strong, but Boston saves the possession. And now Howard working against Harrison. Tough move. Mitchell defending Ionescu. Now the switch. Mitchell's on Stewie. Boston came over to help. And the Ball is tipped out to Cloud. Ionescu trying to finish the half and does with the three. Another big offensive rebound for New York, and it ended up with another three.
We're allowing them to move around wherever they want to, and then we're not finishing plays with a box out. We've got to be disciplined through the entire possession.
Okay, Coach White, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So they did give up a lot of offensive rebounds to Liberty in the first half as Cloud slices her way in to get a basket. The Liberty doing well on the offensive glass, which led to those second chance points. Pam Ward, Rebecca Lobo, and Christine Williamson joining you from another packed house here in Indianapolis.
And again, we saw in the first half with the double team down on Aaliyah Boston coming from Sabrina Ionescu after Boston puts the ball on the floor this time, results in a turnover again.
Boston having a frustrating day, leading the league in field goal percentage coming into this game, but only hit one of her 5 shots in the first half. Ionescu with the great take in the middle. Sabrina having another fine game against Indiana. She's got 19 at 23 against them in their first game. Clark, Sabali came over to help Cloud on defense. Ionescu for 3.
What a great and efficient afternoon we've seen here from Sabrina Ionescu, and frustration for the Indiana Fever as they turn the basketball over.
Sabrina has 3 threes. Mitchell has a cup out. Ionescu with the hot hand. That one was short. The backboard.
Sabrina Ionescu can score at all 3 levels, and we've seen them all today. We see her drive to the bucket. We saw the mid-range in the first half, and then a great extra pass by Burke as Sabrina steps into the 3.
Let's go over to Christine Williamson.
Yeah, I talked to Sabrina even before the start of the season, and she said that this team has a lot more confidence this season than they have in previous years because they know that they have the tools that they need to win a WNBA championship. So that confidence is shown when they're able to close these games, these close games like this one today.
Now a little bit of frustration because there's a lot of physicality between Sabrina Ionescu and Hull on that last possession, and Hull is the one who initiated it, and then Sabrina is the one who gets called for the foul.
The 10-0 New York run. Inside, another beautiful pass. Seems like there's no daylight at all, but Mitchell couldn't finish it from Clark. Cloud coming out more aggressive here in the third quarter, draws the foul. And we should mention too that Tawana Bonner not available for Indiana, out, not here, dealing with some personal issues and no timetable for when she will come back, but Bonner, the veteran, coming off the bench this year for Indiana, playing for Coach White the last couple of seasons in Connecticut. Stay tuned for our next WNBA broadcast next Saturday on ABC as Alyssa Thomas and the Phoenix Mercury take on Angel Reese in Chicago at 1 Eastern. WNBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 12:30 Eastern. That's Saturday right here on ABC. Cloud, one of the big pickups in the off-season. Now in her 10th year out of St. Joseph's. 6th in the league in assists coming into this game. Trying to get it to Boston. That has not clicked so far. Stewie got it taken away by Clark, and it's off of Stewart, so Indiana basketball.
Good hustle by Caitlin Clark after the turnover to come back, get her hand on the basketball to get it going off of Brianna Stewart. You see her running the lane. Caitlin Clark right there. Yeah, hand right on the ball, but it goes off of Brianna Stewart's leg.
Clark threw 3 defenders there momentarily. Now Mitchell trying to blow by. Everybody does and gets the foul. was retired, but that changed last year. She's finally getting some overdue attention from fans around the country and some media folks as well. A great player. Sabally on the baseline, found by Ionescu. It was blocked by Boston. Clark looking for some options. Hull spots up for three and hits it.
The Indiana Fever look a little bit more physical to me defensively the last couple of possessions, and then they were able to get out in transition, get to their secondary. The good look for Hull.
So Hull now into double figures. Stewie just being pestered out there by Hull, who's a really good perimeter defender. Hull finds Boston, who had some daylight finally. She gets the basket, and it's a run for Indiana of 7-0.
Finals to watch so far, huh?
Indiana looked to be comfortable in the fourth quarter last night, but the Thunder were able to come back and win it. And they are now all tied up. And Pacers, there's a lot of symbiotic relationships between the Pacers and the Fever, but the Pacers traveling to Oklahoma City today. And Caitlin Clark witnessed her first loss yesterday. They had been 8-0 with her in the building, the Pacers, until last night. This run. Oh, that's a nice little fake by Boston.
Great ball fake and then take by Aaliyah Boston. Get the defender leaning and then just drive the other way.
And then she made the defensive play to get the tie-up.
The handoff and the pass back to Aaliyah Boston. Fake left, drive right, make it all look so easy.
Boston struggling with her shot in the first half, and now she will jump against Sabally. Sabally missing 6 games because of a hurt knee, still working her way back. Caitlin gets hit on her way to the lane.
Natasha Cloud navigating, getting over the screen and then retreating a little bit. Yeah, certainly a foul.
Third one on Natasha Cloud. Mitchell had just enough room to get the shot off, and she buried it. Now a 12-0 Fever run. Air ball for Sabally. Boston boards it. New York has missed 7 straight shots. Caitlin challenged Sabally and won it. New York doesn't have a lot of droughts. This is the top scoring team in the WNBA. Stewie gathered after a bobble and wisely threw it up as she realized that Boston was off balance and drew a foul.
Sideline, out of bounds, and just Kelsey Mitchell stepping in with space, straining the three. Caitlin coming down, navigating in transition. Liked that matchup and was able to go by and hit a tough one on Niara Sabally.
First basket of the second half for Caitlin, who had 25 points in the first half. Stewie back at the line.
Oh, Brianna Stewart on that last shot came down, twisted her left ankle, landing on Aaliyah Boston's foot.
For 2 in that trip. She had made her first 4 free throws in this game. Clark nails it. A 17, a couple of hours before the game, trying to get in. Ionescu turns the corner, and a nice play over there by Stephanie White. She's got some ups.
That's right.
pretty good vertical over there, Steph White.
New York Liberty right now just a bit out of sorts on the offensive end.
Cloud and Clark have had some nice confrontations, and they're going to get another foul on Cloud.
That was like a full court one-on-one drill.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark coming down, trying to get by Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud staying in front of her. I mean, you're going to pick up Caitlin Clark full court. And just watch these two. It's like a drill. Like they're the only ones on the floor. We'll throw a screen in for good measure, fighting around, getting physical. It became personal between these two. And then Caitlin finds herself at the free throw line.
That's now 4 personal fouls on Natasha Cloud. Cloud goes out and Johannes comes in. Sabally will also check in for New York. For Izzy Harrison.
Wonder if with this lineup, if we'll see Brianna Stewart as the primary defender on Caitlin Clark. We saw that some in the first half.
The run is now 19-0 for Indiana. We had a 12-point lead against New York here in this building back on May 24th and ended up losing. Burke, fouled by Mitchell.
So many switches.
For all of the action. Nafisa Collier had another big day today, over 30 points.
Yeah, nice response for the Minnesota Lynx after suffering their first loss to Seattle a couple of games ago.
It was them in New York as the only unbeaten's New York. Coming in 9-0 today. Nice points at the free throw line, their first in over 4 minutes. Still a scoring drought from the field. Stewart with the height advantage over Colson, spins and scores.
I mean, it's incredible. And the degree of difficulty on so many of Brianna Stewart's mid-range finishes is high.
Colson left open, and she hits it! Sydney Colson with just her 5th 3 of the season. Kind of like a hockey line change. Off the inbounds. Hull couldn't convert. Johannes comes in and shoots and scores. Clark guarded by Stewart. Misfired, wants it back. They got it over into the corner. Cunningham coming back today from injury. Underneath.
You can run in transition off of rebounds, steals. You got a great look for Hull. She went inside, missed the layup, and then it turned into 3 points the other way as the Liberty pushed the ball in transition. They are the #1 team in terms of pace of play so far this season.
Ionescu, you could tell by the way she launched it, she had confidence that was going in, and indeed it did. So New York has now scored the last 8 points of this game to get back to within 8.
Sabrina Ionescu's really had an answer at times here today when her team struggling to score. We saw her with the drive early, hitting that deep 3 now.
She's got 27 points. That is one off of her season high. Colson right into the teeth of the defense and draws a foul.
And credit to New York Liberty in his last couple of minutes, because it felt like as Indiana was going on their run, getting the crowd involved, that they could have really created some nice separation going into the 4th quarter. For the Liberty to make this a single-digit game has been impressive here.
The lead had been as high as 16 points. Colson, just the 4th free throw that she has taken all year. foul to give. As we go inside 40 seconds here in the third quarter. Sabally, tough shot. Hall thought she had her arms up in that vertical position, but she gets called for the foul. The fans react after seeing the replay on the big screen.
Yeah, that looked like good, clean defense by Lexi Hull. Oh, yeah. Steph White, though, without the challenge because she used it earlier and it was unsuccessful.
Ionescu, 1 of 2 in that trip. Now she's tied her season high with 28 points. Clark trying to split the defenders. Her turn to draw a foul.
The defense, we saw and heard that from Aaliyah Boston throughout that wired.
Shot clock winding down now for Clark. All the way across the court to Hull. A little bit chancy. Brianna Stewart in those long arms, and now the Liberty can hold it for the last shot of the quarter. Ionescu from the logo. Tapped out. New York ends that quarter on a 9-2 where the Liberty are trying to come from behind and keep their record perfect. The last unbeaten team left in the league. Ionescu roughed up out there by Colson. He picks up the foul. Stewart with another chance at the line. They've gotten Howard for the foul.
The whistle a little late, but certainly Howard got Brianna Stewart right on the wrist. We had the exact same angle as the official who blew the whistle. See her coming in right there, right on the arm. Actually, that's not it. They need our angle.
Yes, the best angle.
The best angle.
So Brianna Stewart back at the line. Again, New York without Jonquel Jones. Missing her 3rd straight game. They're hopeful to get her back for their next game. She's been dealing with a right ankle issue.
The Liberty has rebounded really well today without their best rebounder in Jonquel Jones on the floor.
Averaging a double-double. She and Angel Reese, the only 2 players in the league averaging a double-double coming into play today. That was rather telegraphed. And Caitlin Clark commits the foul. Keeps Stewie from getting another bucket. It's the 3rd one on Clark. Indiana already with 3 team fouls in the first 56 seconds of the 4th quarter. After 5, you go to the line. Stewie doing a really good job as usual to get to the free throw line. Has done that throughout her career. Tied Diana Taurasi, the fastest players, to 5,500 points. Excellent company. I wonder what Taurasi's doing in retirement.
I think she's hanging out in Australia.
Well, that's not bad. Watching this game, no doubt. Oh, bounce pass. And Howard was able to gather, but couldn't get it home.
When these teams met back in May, Indiana missed a lot of shots like that. Really good looking ones that are close to the rim.
And the runner goes in. It's a 14-2 New York run. New York had one last year with the Liberty and trying to come back against the Fever for the 2nd time in as many games as they played in the regular season. Trailed by 12 back in May and came back to win. Clark thunks it off the bat, but Cunningham is able to rescue the possession. Shot clock winding down for Colson. A big three for Sydney. Her second of the game.
We saw the hard double team come from Johannes on the dribble from Boston, and that left Colson the opportunity for the three.
Good double on Stewart as the shot clock winds down for Johannes. Long rebound taken by Ionescu, who got hit in the face by Cunningham, who was also New York in the bonus for the rest of this quarter. Mitchell stepped in the way, has to beat Ionescu. Indiana's missed some opportunities in the paint this afternoon. Brianna Stewart also wearing a Mike Forrest this afternoon.
With one another.
Sabrina Ionescu at the line. Remember, they are in the bonus for the rest of the game, and now Sabrina has 30 points. She has 30, Caitlin has 32. Austin trying to get out of that double team. A lot of trouble. Mitchell with the miss. Boston somehow able to grab it. And then Kelsey Mitchell with the huge shot from the corner. It's a long two. Good defense there by New York, but Indiana was able to take advantage of the second chance. Ionescu turns it over. She was bottled up on the sideline.
Yeah, terrific trap. And you saw Kelsey Mitchell, the last offensive possession, get in there. Nice pass out by Aaliyah Boston, then steps in and drains the second one. Toe, however, on the line.
And Brianna Stewart able to take it right back. The lead now 5 for Indiana. Boston. Now here's Cloud. Ionescu blows by Cunningham. Clark comes over for what she thought was a block shot.
I think the foul's on Cunningham, though.
She gets them both. Caitlin Clark now taking a rest. So Colson running the point. Boston being very physical with Sommely. Count it.
Aaliyah Boston uses her size and strength so well. Usually it's with her back to the basket. Here it's the drive, initiate, boom, boom, and then finish, get the foul call, go to the free throw line. But just an exceptional use of her strength and her shoulders on that possession.
4 fouls on Sommely. 3-point play for Boston. Cloud shoots it over Boston's outstretched hand. Cloud has missed 7 of her 8 shots this afternoon. Averaging just under 10 points per game on the season coming in. Mitchell curls around and hits it. By 11 coming into this fourth quarter. As we go under 5 minutes, New York in the bonus. Stewie, nope, Cunningham concedes and lets Boston gets the rebound. Caitlin Clark still on the bench, getting a little bit more rest. Boston challenged Kennedy Burke. And it's out of bounds to Indiana with 10 seconds to shoot. Mitchell. Over. Brianna Stewart, the rainbow falls. Mitchell picking up her scoring here in the second half. Indiana scored the last 8 points of this game, all of them with Caitlin Clark on the bench. Stewie, boarded by Cunningham. Inside 4 minutes, Caitlin Clark coming to the scorer's table to check in. Shot clock dying. Boston. Nope. Indiana up 11 with just over 3.5 minutes left to go, but Natasha Cloud will get New York right back at the free throw. Having an off day today. Does have 6 rebounds and 5 assists, but has missed 7 of her 8 shots, including all 4 of her threes. 10-point advantage with 3.5 to go. Getting skinny with Stewart guarding Clark. Clark, a little hesitation, got the shot off, hit the rim, and then a foul on New York. Rebounds. Also has 5 assists. We talked about what a good passer she is. Gets the lead back up to 11. Boston told Mitchell to slow down and get it over to Clark. And then a perfect bounce pass with Hall working the baseline. An 11-1 run after New York chipped away at the lead. Boy, Stewart and Hall got tangled up.
Saw this in the first half when Caitlin Clark passing it to Kelsey Mitchell there, passes it to Hull, the baseline cut. It's fine. If she needs to thread the needle, it just goes right through, delivers it beautifully. Hull with a tough finish. I don't know why they're booing. We're not showing a baby picture on the screen.
Stewart at the line after she was fouled by Lexi Hall. And as great as a shooter as Caitlin Clark is, and it's ridiculous, I think she's an even better passer.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy, right?
But like, we can, you know, fans can enjoy both.
Oh, absolutely. She's an amazing passer. 32 points for Caitlin. Only 7 of them here in the second half. But she will certainly take the win. Indiana trying to get back to 500 and hand New York its first loss of the season. Caitlin Wisely killing some more clock. And maybe the dagger. Kelsey Mitchell lighting it up here in the fourth. They have not scored a field goal now in over 4 minutes, and they've given up 99 points to the Fever. And another foul on the rebound attempt. New York going to go home to play the Dream and the Mercury before embarking on a 4-game road trip to end June.
Sydney Brondello, though, telling us before the game, I like road trips.
Yeah.
Great chance for the team to bond. They've got an 8-game home stretch at one point in July.
The Fever will be one of the teams visiting during that stretch. Caitlin again! Three's been off in the second half, so she's stuck at 7, which ties her career high. Sobley left open, rims out. New York has gone cold here in the fourth quarter. They had a big fourth quarter to come from behind to beat Indiana here on May 24th. It will be a different story this afternoon. Cunningham coming back from an injury herself. Gets her first three of the day. Has been terrific for New York now with going over the 30-point mark, a new season high for her, but Caitlin Clark coming out on fire with 5 threes in the first half. And the Indiana Fever will hand the defending champs their first loss of the season. Takes the shot clock by 17 threes, just 2 shy of the WNBA record that New York had hit a couple of times this year in games. Fever take another shot clock violation, but they're going to come away with the victory. 102-88. And a huge win